Scorsese was right. Today's movies are theme park rides. Literally. Hey up guys! So today's movie up for discussion is the new action-adventure from Disney, Jungle Cruise, which, like Pirates of the Caribbean, is based off a Disneyland theme park ride. The film is directed by Juame Collet-Serra and stars Emily Blunt as Dr. Lily Houghton, a botanist who embarks on a quest to the Amazon jungle to find a mythological flower known as Tears of the Moon, which is rumoured to have healing properties, along with her brother McGregor, who's played by Jack Whitehall. They hire a roguish boat captain called Frank, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, to take them up the river to find this flower before Jesse Plemmons' German Prince Joachim gets there first. Despite the limitations and previously culturally insensitive undertones of its source material, Jungle Cruise is in fact a pretty fun, yes, I'm gonna say it, ride. God. Let's talk positives. The characters are very likable. Emily Blunt and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson make a very charming pair. They've got that prickly Rachel Weisz, Brendan Fraser from The Mummy chemistry. There is a bit of a forced romance between the two of them, but it was kind of expected. Jack Whitehall as McGregor I enjoyed too. He's very much the John Hannah from The Mummy character in this scenario. You know, the poncy posh brother who's Eton elocution and fancy wardrobe juxtaposes nicely with the harsh, unforgiving jungle environment. But I will say this, it is a role that very much plays into Jack Whitehall's strengths. He's posh and he's camp. He nailed it. In fact, the only difference between McGregor and Jack Whitehall's character JP from Fresh Meat is the costume. Well, no, that's not fully true. He does not possess JP's proclivity for women. In fact, quite the opposite. This is once again Disney queerbaiting one of its characters. He actually has a rather effective scene where he comes out to The Rock's skipper. He says "I'm gay" without actually saying the words "I'm gay." Although I guess for this time period they wouldn't say gay, they would have said homosexual, but they still tiptoe around it, and I just wish they would say it, you know, rather than just implying it. So yeah, that did bother me a little bit. As for the issue of a straight actor playing a gay character, I've said this before, I don't have a problem with straight actors playing gay roles as long as it's done tastefully. And even though, yes, there is a comedic side to McGregor, Jack Whitehall is known for being a camp man, so like, it works for this role and it's not insensitive. I think he plays the role rather well. I've said it before and I'll say it again, the role should always go to whoever is best in the audition. And this role, it fits Jack Whitehall like a glove. Jesse Plemons was a lot of fun to watch as the baddie Prince Joachim. He's just so over-the-top ridiculous, but in that super villainy kind of way that works well in this genre. He's chewing the scenery, his accent is wobbly, he even speaks parcel tongue at one point, but it works. There's no shortage of action scenes in this film. Fisticuffs, submarine chases, rapids, but at times I did find some of the CGI a bit wonky. There's plenty of humor, and I'm gonna come out and say that I actually liked the tortured puns. Yep, I am getting old. The level of commitment from The Rock delivering these abysmal dad jokes is just first class. The score by James Newton Howard swells with Indiana Jones levels of adventure. You can actually hear the Indiana Jones influences in some of the very brassy action sequences. It's very John Williams. As for negatives, the main issue that I took with Jungle Cruise is that the comparisons to other films feels abundantly obvious. I've already said the characters in this film kind of feel like copied and pasted versions of The Mummy. The score feels very Indiana Jones, but there's also elements of other films like National Treasure, Pirates of the Caribbean, The African Queen, Romancing the Stone, and the one that everybody else seems to have missed when comparing this movie to other movies is the schlocky B-movie Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid. I swear to God, Jungle Cruise plot about going into the jungle to find a flower that cures all ailments, that is the exact plot of Anacondas, The Hunt for the Blood Orchid. I kid you not. There's also snakes in Jungle Cruise as well. So you can see that Jungle Cruise takes a lot of influence from a lot of different movies, and the problem is, when a film is emulating a lot of other films, there's not really much that feels fresh or new. You can tell that Disney wants Jungle Cruise to be their next Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, but this ain't no Pirates. Pirates was surprising, it took some risks and they paid off greatly. But Jungle Cruise it's too afraid to take any risks or try something new. They just follow the formula, which is fine. There's a reason it's a formula, because it's been tried and tested and it works, but we're not given anything new. That's the problem here with Jungle Cruise. It's just a lot of stuff that we've seen done before. So let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? Yes, and if they do make a sequel, which they will undoubtedly do, I will go and watch it. I had a fun enough time with it. I'd want to see where they go next with this franchise. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? Yes, I do. I recommend Jungle Cruise for families. I think there's enough here for kids and adults to enjoy. Characters are likable, there's plenty of action, there is humor. Granted, it's a little eye-rolly in places, but there is a lot of entertainment value in this film. If you liked any of the films that I just compared it to before, then you'll probably be able to find the fun in Jungle Cruise. So yes, I do recommend it. And question number 3, what score to give it out of 10? Jungle Cruise is a dumb but fun action-adventure movie. It's not in the same league as Pirates of the Caribbean, but it is a fun enough time nonetheless. I think it's a bit wobbly. It's all over the place on what it wants to be. I don't think it's quite found its sea legs yet, but maybe they'll figure that out in the inevitable sequels. But I'm going to give the first Jungle Cruise a score of 6 out of 10. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I would love to hear your thoughts on Jungle Cruise. What did you make of this Disney theme park ride movie adaptation? Whatever you have to say, let me know in that comment section down below. If you've enjoyed this review, please do hit that thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And if you want to follow me on any of my socials, all those links in that video description down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Airfield, and I'll see you next time.